Hello, viewers! Welcome back to our channel, Walking Thoughts Nebraska. We are in another city. It's Vancouver here in Canada. Before we headed back to Nebraska from the UK, we had a short trip here as we also have a family member that we wanted to visit in this city. So we decided to have a short trip here. And one of the things that we wanted to be able to share with you is our city trip to Vancouver. Vancouver is a major city here in Western Canada. We've been to Canada before, but in the eastern side. So we did Toronto, Montreal, Quebec, Prince Edward Island, and this is our first time on the west side of Canada. This is in the lower mainland region of British Columbia and the most populous city in this province. To share with you more information about the city, of course, we Googled it and then we want to share that information with you. This is our train ride from Surrey, British Columbia. That's an outskirt of Vancouver, about a 30 or 40-minute train ride. And then we headed out to the city just to be able to see the convention center and the surrounding area. But basically, we just wanted to be able to see the city before we visit our family and then head back to Nebraska. So you can see, you already see some skyscrapers and then buildings, apartments. Maybe these are some stores too. Vancouver area had a population of about 2.6 million. The last they did it in 2021. Then this is the most ethnically and linguistically diverse cities in Canada. So after about 30-40 minutes from Surrey, British Columbia, we arrive at downtown Vancouver, and this is nearby the convention center. Welcome to Vancouver. There are not that many tourists on that day, although it was the weekend. So this is inside of the convention center. There was an event that we attended here, which is which was the sale of some shoes, a brand shoes, and you get to be able to choose. But just looking at all of these things here, it's a good place to be able to be at on a weekend. There were not that many people as it's still winter time. It was not that cold, but of course, people tend to stay indoors rather than outside when the sun's not out. So here you go. Once you step outside, you get the view of the ocean. Vancouver is one of Canada's warmest cities in the winter. So although there's no snow right now, you could see that it's still damp. Vancouver's climate is temperate by Canadian standards. I remember when we were in the East Coast, it was summertime, but it was like springtime feels for us. But here in Vancouver, it's more temperate. We're able to have our jackets on, but not really so cold like Nebraska is. So right now we're just enjoying our time going around. We'll see if we're able to go other parts of Vancouver. But for right now, since this is really just a short visit to be able to see family members before we head back to Nebraska, this is the only part of our itineraries, just to see downtown Vancouver and to see this area. But we'll see, maybe in the next few months or few weeks, we'll be able to come back and do more Canada videos for you. The weather was temperate, but still, Vancouver is one of the wettest Canadian cities. For right now, it was just damped. However, precipitation varies throughout the metropolitan area, so it just depends on where you're at. Snow-wise, on the average, snow falls on 9 days per year, so not really that much here in Vancouver, which is really good because we are not ready to go back to snow yet. Although I believe Nebraska is going to have some over the weekend, or the weekend that we were here, they got some snow. So we stepped out of the that area for a little bit. We go up here and just to be able to explore nearby streets. We didn't have really a set itinerary for today, but we just want to be able to explore the place. So here around, you can see the buildings. Vancouver ranks high on the global livability ranking, but then it has started dropping because as with any cities or major cities, rent or real estate started becoming more expensive. And here in Vancouver, that started 2019 or earlier. And just with high rent, like all of these high rise buildings, you could see that more and more people are unable to be able to afford living here. They used to have an urban planning, but I'm not sure where that's it now. They do want to be able to preserve their green spaces. So you could see branches of the tree. So one spring is here, and maybe we'll be back by that time. You're going to see green spaces, more green spaces here in the city. There are several modern buildings here in the downtown area. I think the Harbor Center and then Vancouver Law Courts. We're going to show you some of the other buildings here. They are reminiscent of the Colosseum here in Rome, or they're trying to do some European vibe city. And I think they have a little bit of that. They have prominent addition to their cityscape, and you could see it here. They're trying really hard to be able to make sure that it's modern, it's livable, it's walkable, because I think for a city, they really want it to be walkable. That way, people are able to just navigate it without cars. For today, you could see there are less cars because it's the weekend, there's no offices. It's more of just those who are going downtown to be able to go see places, or like us, just be at the convention center to attend an event. And other than that, most of them are back to where they need to be, most probably the suburbs of the city. With Vancouver's location, you could expect that there's going to be tourists here too, just like us. Vancouver's scenic location makes it a major tourist destination. And according to Wikipedia, they have about over 10.3 million visiting Vancouver in 2017, and they grow annually. So, with that number of tourists, they are able to generate about $4.8 billion that contributes to their economy. So, that's a huge chunk of money. And they do have mountains, ocean, as you could see, as you know, you've seen a earlier part, and we'll go back to that area in a little bit. They have forests, parklands, and that's one of the things that we were really hopeful we could get a time for, is to be able to go back to hiking in one of their parks, because we do want to be able to show you more of Vancouver. So we headed back around this area. It's actually, we just went around the Convention Center, which was a big space here in Vancouver. So you have that Canada Place there, and it's all part of the convention area. So you get to see the flyover there. These are all different places. Like I said, there are so many tourist attractions here too. And not only that, there are also films and television shows that have this as their location for filming. And this has become known as Hollywood North, where it has stood for several US cities. So you're going to see US cities presented, but it was actually filmed here in Vancouver because they have less expensive fees for filming. So maybe you'll recognize it in one of the shows you're watching. There are also some libraries and museums, and as you know, we like going to the museums. However, at this time, I'm not sure if that's going to be part of our itinerary, but if we do happen to go to a museum, we'll do a film there too and share it with you. As with any of the other museums that we've gone in the past, we like sharing them because we enjoy going there. So we want you to be able to enjoy them too. But for this video, this is just going to be a walk around, and it just depends on how our schedule will look like. We'll see if we can go to one. Transportation wise, we did buses, we did trains, or the metro, so that's all very easy. Vancouver's streetcar system began in June 28, 1890, and we did see one when we were walking, but we didn't get to see a video of it. So they do have that, and then they do have the tramway company. They have their councils that did the major freeways, which is if you have a car, you're able to access it. But just like in any major city, once there are offices or, commutes in the morning, that could be something that you want to take note of. TransLink is responsible for the roads and public transportation within Metro Vancouver. So you have the BC Transit, we have the West Coast Express, and all of those things. Then they have the Millennium Line, Expo Line, and Canada Line. They were sharing all about that. And of course, once you're out here in the sea area, then you have all of those other things too. So we got out on this side of the street this time, stores, buildings, still the similar things in a city. We just want to be able to see all the parts that we're able to walk around, but we're going to look for a place here to eat our lunch, and then we'll see if there are other places that we're able to visit. So for right now, we want to say thank you for joining us, for always joining us in all of our adventures. Please remember to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and notification bell as well. That way, whenever we have a new video, you'll be updated. Again, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye.